marginalized groups can be represented by means of literature. It has been most effective instrument to destabilize politically powerful and ideologically dominant hegemonic forces. Heavy words are there, needed to be understood, I believe. What happens, what is an effective instrument and what does it do when it destabilizes? Now when we talk of destabilizing something, we are talking against an established tradition. We talk against an established norm. This concept of destabilizing the things probably came in with the feminist writings. They first of all started distorting master narratives by adding certain other characters into it, and then they destabilized the narratives. For example, if you want to see, Ramayana is narrated as Sita, Mahabharata is narrated as Yajnavalkya, and a few more books which are generally regarded as the master narratives of social order. They are differently dealt with. Even there are commentaries written on the great books of the Hindu tradition. Another thing that it gives us is untold experiences of marginalized people are offered visibility through literature, and that is true because literature talks about those who have never been talked about. And to conclude, it is a tool with dual action. This is most important, I believe, because both the groups, what I mean to say is groups of the oppressed and groups of the oppressors, both of them have to see to this. What it does is, it functions in two ways. First, it mirrors the oppressor. If you don't look at the action, your own action, then you will not be able to see what you are actually doing. And secondly, it does is, it guides and inspires the oppressor. And that is why the literature and study of literature is extremely important, and therein lies the greatness of this conference, specifically dealing with the topic of politics of representation of marginalized people in literature, any group of marginalized people. The very first thing that we have to speak about in relation to this is, I believe, term oppressor and the oppressed. We need to understand the term oppressor and the oppressed, because since ages there have been a conflict, and I believe, at least I feel, I speculate, that this conflict is going to be forever throughout the history. It's a never-ending conflict. Why am I saying this? It will be discussed in next 30 minutes. See, in these two groups, both of them, they struggle. The first group struggles to survive, while the second group struggles to establish their power over the other. So both these groups, they are struggling, and struggle is the part of human life. But in this, oppressed people have to suffer, while oppressors gain all the benefits. And that is the problem. So we also need to understand what is actually oppressed. Let us try to understand the term oppressed. Oppressed are socially, linguistically, culturally, and politically outside the hegemonic power structure of the contemporary society. Hegemonic power structure is the established power of a certain group, which they believe is their birthright. See, and this is out of this power structure. These people are socially outside, linguistically outside, culturally outside, politically outside, and by every means they are outside. What is being outside? Being outside means their voice is not heard. They are not paid attention to. They are not given representation. They are not talked about. In fact, being an individual, being a human being, everybody is to be talked about and everybody is to be taken under consideration, but this does not seem in the books of history. And this is because of the hegemony of these people. When we talk of anything in the world, whether we talk of society, whether we talk of hierarchy, whether we talk of social order, or whether we talk of anything in the world, when we are blaming others, at the same time it is our duty to introspect. We should look into ourselves and see whether the thing against which we are talking is not being done by me. That is very important point that we all tend to forget, and where we tend to forget the fact, there comes in the politics. There you talk of the politics. And the topic of my talk is Dalit literature, representation of the Dalits. We'll also have to talk a bit about what is Dalit. Some of the scholars, they argue that this caste system is not the gift of the Aryans. This caste system already existed in India even before the arrival of the Aryans. That is the point. But the scholars on the other side, they say that though it was so, the point is, though it was so, the point is, what did Aryans, Varna system, do to this caste system? They only helped it. They only tried to root it down to the bottom. And that is the problem. So anyway, the thing again goes to Vedas and Varnas. Because therein lies the basic discrimination. The law of equality never ever have been applied